make a mistake, you can't get it back. I talk to my buddies who are locked up, and the most common thing they say, man, I wish I wouldn't have went out that night. Psalm 90:12. So teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. Teach us to number our days, that we may apply hearts unto wisdom. Our days are numbered. Did you guys notice how everybody got kind of quiet when they mentioned Kurt, who passed away at Lift Camp? Everybody's in here all rowdy. I'm tough. I'm cool. I know everybody's cool. The next guy, I know I am too. When he mentioned somebody passing away, when you hear about death, it gets real. When you see somebody die, it gets real. When you lose 7 friends in 1 year to heroin overdoses, it gets real. That happened to me in 2011. Okay? It's real. One bad mistake, your life's gone. One good decision, your life's changed. You guys have already made good decisions by coming here tonight. When I was younger, I grew up wild. When I was 14 years old, I was introduced to the drug game. When I was 14, I was selling dope. I was influenced to sell dope by people very close to my inner circle. When I was 18, I was going to DeLand, Florida, which is right outside of Daytona, Florida, because I had an apartment there. And me and my people would, that's where we used to get our dope. We would go down south and get all of our dope and get it for really cheap, then bring it home and flood the streets with it, right? 14 to 18 years old. I wasn't being a kid. I wasn't asked to come to Young Life. If somebody would ask me, I'd be like, I believe in Jesus, but I don't want that holy roller stuff. We've got to get our minds right. Life happens fast. I know 14-year-olds in prison. 21 years old, I've been in the dope game 7 years, and I'd seen and done so much, I felt like I was 50. You know what I'm saying? By the time I'm 21 years old, I'm wearing like $30,000, $40,000 worth of jewelry when nobody was doing this. You know what I mean? I thought I had everything on lockdown. I thought I had life under control. I mean, I was running stuff, you know, at a young age. You know what I mean? I'm hanging out with 30-year-olds. You know what I mean? They're buying dope off me. You know what I mean? Bricks and pounds. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? I thought I had everything under control. It's amazing how fast things spiral out of control when you think you have them under control. And that happens for a reason. Some of the best things that ever happened to me in my life brought me down to my knees. If it wouldn't have brought me down to my knees, I would be dead or in prison. There's no doubt. I'm a hothead. We're not perfect. I still got anger issues. If somebody cuts me off in traffic, I got to start counting to 10. I'm afraid I'm going to get out the car and kick their window down. We are all a work in progress. Once this seed gets planted, it will grow if you allow it to grow. You've got to seek these things. You've got to try. Sometimes you got to get knocked on your knees. When I was 21 years old, my 21-year-old birthday party, my buddy was like, hey man, let's go out. I'm like, I had a fake idea like 17, you know what I mean? Well, I don't want to go to a club, I've already been there. They was all talking me into going out, but I just didn't want it. By the time I was 21, I was like, something's wrong. Something's missing. I got everything that anybody I know would ever want. Something's missing. You know what I mean? I just couldn't find happiness. And I was a Christian. I used to hang out with my people on the streets. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, John 3:16, man, you don't need to believe. I called myself a part-time Christian back then. I was wild out, trying to make changes in people's life, but I couldn't help change anybody's life until I changed my own. Amen. If you guys have anybody in this room that you love, and you don't want to see go down the wrong path, and you don't want to see dead, prison, locked up, addicted to drugs, paralyzed, well then it's worth changing your life to help change their life. Because whether you realize it or not, you're an influence on them. We've got to stop wasting our time. Oh, I got to make sure I look good. I got to do. We're brainwashed into believing it's about what others think about us other than what he thinks about us, which is all that matters. Amen. This is real. This is real. I'm not up here for fun. I got a fever. I don't feel good. I'd much rather be at home, have my wife rub my feet, eat chicken noodle soup, tell me how long. You know what I mean? I hope your kids are okay. It ain't about me. It ain't about none of y'all. It's all about him. There's power in the name. When you tap into that energy, not only can you change your life, but you can change the lives of people around you. This is real talk. This is serious. This ain't a joke. I know. Anybody in here ever been shot at? Okay. First time I got shot at, I was 14 years old and I peeked down my leg. No, I'm serious. I thought I was the man. Bullet. Hit the ground. I know I'm like, oh my God. I gotta get out of here. I'm on water. One strip right down there. It's real. It gets real. It's not about us. It's all about him. There's power in the name. By the time my daughter was born, does anybody here know my little baby girl, Taylor Rain? Yeah. Before my daughter was born, see, I grew up with nothing. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with a rough family. I grew up not feeling love. My daughter's on the way to be born. We know she's on the way. We've been planning it, praying about it, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I got to change my life. There's no way I can raise my kid in the same environment that I grew up in. Well, it might be a good idea if I stop selling drugs. Maybe if I stop selling weed, at least I'll be able to be there for it. I won't be in prison. You know what I mean? It's real talk. I started changing my life. So when my daughter was born, before she was born, I made sure that I made the changes necessary to give her what I've never been given. And that's all, one of the things we have to do, all of us, is give back, especially if it's family, especially if it's your baby. So I got out of the dope game. I changed my life, talked to God, helped me out. I don't want to go to jail, I don't want to go to prison, I don't want to end up shooting somebody. I want to change my life. When you ask in a serious tone on your hands and knees, you'd be amazed on the changes that will come. It will come if you want it to come, if you ask for it to come, if you allow it to come. My daughter's born. I'm starting to feel good about life. I'm not nervous. I'm looking over my shoulder everywhere I go, packing a gun, worrying about my best friend robbing me. Never worried about the police. They take you to jail. Your best friend will shoot you until you take your money. You know what I mean? So I'm living good. I'm starting to be real comfortable. Everything's starting to go my way. Married to my beautiful wife there. Out of nowhere, my wife gets in a bad car accident, and we found out she has cancer. And I'm like, all right, this got real. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm changing my life. I'm doing what I can. After the first surgery, the second surgery she had for her cancer, she almost died. She had to go into ICU for 3 days. And when you talk about, a prayer warrior, I turned into a prayer warrior. I'm like, God, please, God, help me. Oh, God, I'm about to lose my wife. I'm looking at my wife's in ICU at the hospital. I'm looking at my baby girl, getting her to sleep, and she's all, when's mommy coming home? And I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe never. You know what I'm saying? You don't know. You know what I mean? And I put her to bed, got her to sleep, and I got down on my hands and knees, and I was just like, God, please, God, whatever you want me to do, whatever, just do not take my wife from my daughter and from myself. Please, God, whatever you want to do. Got this tingling feeling all over. Got up, and I'm like, okay. Didn't get no big ideas. I didn't get no bolt of lightning. Nothing was right across the sky with violins and, you know what I'm saying? Saying, this is what you do. My wife's sick with cancer. Thought she was going to die. God saved her. I'm convinced, you know what I mean? Because things was going south fast. God saved her. Next thing I know, I told him, anything you want, I'll do it. Next thing I know, people are approaching me and they have to hit me. All right, you want me to kind of be a spokesman for you, but talk more to the street. I prefer to talk to the underprivileged, to the street, to the youth, to the widows, to the poor. You know what I mean? That's where it's at. That's where my heart's at. That's where I can relate to. And I guarantee, whether anybody wants to admit it in here or not, but that's what you're relating to right now. I'm speaking real. I've been there and done that. I'm here to tell you, there's power in that name. There's power in prayer. There's power in numbers and strength in numbers. Outside of this room, you guys are all becoming Jesus freaks. You need to hang out together. Hang around like-minded people. Hang around good people. Make positive choices. Make good changes. You only get one shot. There's power in the name of Jesus. The enemy, Satan, comes to kill, steal, and destroy. He don't want you to know that. He don't want it to be cool. He don't want you to tap into that power. We've been brainwashed into believing it's all about us. Have it your way. I've got to make sure I'm happy. Well, I don't feel good today. Well, I don't feel like it. That ain't me. I don't want to do that. It ain't about us. We're not that cool. It's all about him. And there's power in that name. And when you use that name, you'd be amazed on what can happen. It could be something as simple as stressing out over a test. And the next thing you know, the stress is getting so bad, you're feeling whatever, you feel suicidal, whatever. Just pray, Jesus, help me. God, help me. Jesus, help me. Help me, Jesus. I need you. I can't do it alone. Help me. You'd be amazed on the changes that will take place in your mind and your heart right then and there. There's nothing more powerful. I've seen it done a lot in my life, more than I want to even tell you about. There's nothing like the power in that name. You got to submit yourself. You got to stop caring. I'm sorry, not you. I hate people when they're preaching. No, we all. I'm in the same boat you all are. We all need to get more focused. We all need to start praying more often. We all need to realize the power that is at our fingertips. It's right there. Reach out and grab it. I know it seems silly when people up here singing Jesus and doing everything we do, but I'm telling you, real talk, when it comes to life, you don't have any friends. The people you're hanging out with now, you're not going to be hanging out with them when you're married and got kids. If you make it that long. A lot of people die. Everybody dies. A lot of people die early. We ain't promised tomorrow. The only thing we're promised is this moment right now. Time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those 5 seconds you're never going to get back. Don't waste it. I love you guys.